Greetings, Judah. DFG here, getting his flight. Hey guys, I think it's gonna be a short message. It's gonna be a short message. Two things. First, I have a longer message that I've been working on since yesterday. Well, the message is complete, but I'm sure with YouTube algorithms, it has found a way to, 24 hours later, the message still isn't downloaded. So, pray. And I pray, and I hope that Yah allow the message, to go through. I know the enemy of ours, the rulers of the darkness of this world will do everything in its power not to let the message come forward, because the message really kind of breaks down the importance of laws, statutes, and commandments of Yah, and the benefits of them, the pros and the cons. I guess that's the best way to say it. And I think it's going to be, worth you taking a little time to listen to that message if Yah wills for it to go through, okay? Because one of two things going to happen. Either it's going to get through, or YouTube will end my channel, and I'll create another channel. Just always remember, it'll be DFG something if they decide to destroy it. And just, so if you see it's gone, then okay, they didn't like his final message, and that's what they did. He's going to come up with another channel. Just look for me. You'll find me. And then you can just subscribe to that channel, and we'll keep moving, as we, continue to make it through these last and evil days. All right? So, no weapon formed against us will prosper. That's Yah's word, and I stand on that word unto death. Hope you do too. That being said, there's a thing going on right now in educational systems called critical race theory. Some of you guys may have heard of it, and most of you guys probably haven't. I just heard of it about a week ago, and I had to wrap my mind around what the hell are they talking about, critical race theory. And pretty much just a big uproar about it in a lot of these suburban communities, i.e. white communities, because critical race theory is the revealing of, the truth that has never been told about America's behavior in terms of how did America become the powerful nation that it became. And it shares the other side of the story. Again, we have all been taught, even we were taught, about the great leaders, everybody from George Washington and John Adams and Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, and we can go on and on, Abraham Lincoln, you name them. And if you didn't know any better, you would think that these men were Yah-loving men with nothing but love and peace in their heart, and all they wanted to do was just make things better for everybody. I mean, they fought a revolutionary war because, it was just because, Britain was trying to tax them and take advantage of them, and they stood up for themselves. And like any, good, true men and women, you would defend yourself at all costs. And that's the story we were told. But there are parts of those stories that they left out. And I'll start where I ended, with the Revolutionary War. Well, they were standing up, to Britain, but Britain had every right to tax them, because at the end of the day, it was Britain who had financed this whole exploration into our territory, into our land that they claimed they discovered. So critical race theory is that they're saying they discovered America. Columbus, America Vespucci, the early colonists, and they came in. There were just a few little heathens running around here. They never tell you there were 200 million people here when they first came to here. They don't tell you that part of the story. So critical race theory tells you they did not discover America. What they did was they exterminated the majority of the people who were here in America and stole their land. And they don't want their children to know that. They don't want that taught to their children. The whole thing with, Lincoln freeing the slaves. They don't want their children to know. Lincoln had an attitude that he didn't care what it took to end the Civil War. If he said if he could free no slaves, then he would free no slaves if that could get the Union back. And if freeing all the slaves would get the Union back, he would do that. He didn't give a damn one way or the other. He just wanted the Union preserved. This is Lincoln, quote unquote. In addition to that, when Lincoln passed the so-called Emancipation Proclamation, he freed slaves, in the part of the country that he had no jurisdiction over anymore, because those states had seceded from the Union. They were the Confederate states. They had their own president, Jefferson Davis. And so he had no power to free the slaves in the South, because he wasn't the president of the South anymore. The South had rebelled. They had rebelled and started their own country. And not only that, they had rebelled and started their own country. Lincoln told us the states who did not succeed, the southern states like Maryland, for example, who stayed with the Union, he told them they could keep their slaves. So what kind of Emancipation Proclamation, and why would you be honoring someone who said, well, I'm going to free the slaves where I don't have jurisdiction, but where I do have jurisdiction, as long as you don't rebel and separate from, the Union, you can keep your slaves. See, that's critical race theory. Critical race theory says, no, we're going to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Well, a lot of these white educators, a lot of these white congressmen, congresswomen, people, these leaders, they don't want their children to hear that, because they feel like it's going to make their children, feel bad about, themselves and about their history, and it's going to harm them. But you see, that is the essence of so-called white America. Is that they never take responsibility for the things that they do. They every time they're confronted with the truth, they come up with some kind of convenient lie, cognitive dissonance, convenient lies for uncomfortable truths. They're the epitome of what that is. And rather than teach their children the honesty and be honest and forthcoming with their children, they lie to their children. And then what happens? Their children grow up and they perpetuate those same lies. And it'd be different if those, it's no such thing as a harmless lie. But it would be different if those lies did not harm others. But they're lies that they tell their children are at the expense of our children. Because we were the Native Americans, so-called. We were the copper-colored, Aboriginal people here when they first came. We were, in essence, if you're using the term America to describe this country, we were the first Americans. Even their own dictionary tells them that. If they were to go back and look at that, and you can too, my brothers and sisters, go back and look at the 1828 Webster Dictionary and look up the word American. And you know what it's going to read? I'm going to tell you, quote unquote, the Aboriginal copper-colored people who were here when the Europeans came, who later, talking about the definition of American, who later became Europeans. Even in that, they have stolen our identity. And so critical race theory is about revealing the truth, the uncomfortable truth. And they are in such an uproar. I mean, they don't want that coming out. They're like, oh, no, we're not going to hurt our kids like that. What good is it, to confront our children, with a harmful past? I don't know. What good is it to inform your children with harmful lies? So it's okay to tell your children harmful lies, but it's not okay to tell your children harmful truths. And maybe these truths would not be so harmful because maybe your children will step up and say, you know what? We're going to end that foolishness. No, we're not, superior to anybody. And yes, whatever privileges we have, we got them at the expense of other people, at the slaughter, murder, robbing, stealing of other people. And therefore, we're going to right the wrongs of our fathers. We're going to do what's right by our neighbors. But no, they can't do anything like that. Because it's not in them to do it. Although they sit around and judge everybody. White America judges everybody. They judge China. They judge Russia. They judge Venezuela. They judge the hood, the neighborhood. They judge us as a people. They judge everybody except for themselves. So when you hear about, critical race theory, here's my overall take on it. Who gives a crap about it? You know what I'm saying? They are liars. The books say they were liars. And you would think that if we called them out in the book say that their father was liars and they're liars, don't you think wouldn't that be enough for them to say, you know what? Oh, that's too much truth for me. I'm going to end this lying. I'm going to cut this snake's head off and end this. Because whenever we confront them with that, they will, oh, you're bringing up the past. Well, how can you get rid of the past if you don't want to deal with the past? If you don't want to right your wrong from the past. But when Yeshua told them, you're the children of the devil. Your father was a liar from the beginning. He's the father of a lie. And you're his children. Well, see how they bear it out? You see how they make the word true? You see how Yah is able to expose them for who they really are? And you would think, again, if this is an opportunity for this so-called honorable people, this great nation that they call themselves, you would think that having a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have a do-over, to do what's right, at least teach what was right, even if they had no intentions to do anything about it. At least teach the truth. Nah, not these devils. They'd rather just continue to perpetuate the lie because there is no truth in them. And that's the truth about critical race theory. At the end of the day, my feelings about it, who gives a damn about it? What's done is done. Let Yah come in. Yah going to deal with that. Yah will straighten that out. In other words, he's going to judge them. He's already judging them for it. Look what's going on in this nation. Look what's happening to their children. I mean, they put all these things on our children, and now Yah is bringing the plagues to their children and to them, to their economy, to their relationships, to their marriages, etc. He's just destroying them. And they're such fools. They're so blinded, they don't even see the hand of Yah, that Yah is judging them. So therefore, that's why, we need to obey the book. Come out from among them. Be separate. So that when Yah judge them, we don't get caught in that hellfire that's coming towards them. Amen? But anyway, so critical race theory, that's what it is. That's what it's all about. It's a bunch of liars who refuse to teach their children the truth. How sad. They'd rather their children believe a lie. And the only conclusion I can come up with is that they are liars themselves. DFG. Remember, guys, if the channel gets canceled, look for me elsewhere. I'll be back, okay? I'll just set up a new channel and we'll move forward. But anyway, may Yah bless you. May Yah protect you. May Yah put his Rahuk around you. May Yah give you mercy. May Yah give you grace. May Yah shine his light upon your path today. And may Yah give you the victory over any enemies, near or far. Praise Yah. Talk to you later. Bye now.